Welcome to the Blessed to Teach show. This is Rick, your host, here on Thursday, June 27th. And we have new Kyou for the first time in over a month. And what's most interesting, it was not on the board he's been posting to lately. It's back on the one he posted slightly in November, back on the Patriots fight board. So we'll dig into why he did that and dig into his 3 drops that he just gave us. Also digging into just a lot of what other people think about these specific things and a bunch of Spygate news. I might go over the cultural impact system that I'm going live with on July 27th. This is again the Blessed Teach show on June 27th. We have tons of people here in the already. I see Caffeine Addict was first. Sean from Missouri, and we had Matthew and Nixit from where is everybody? California. We've got people from. Give me your cities. Everybody was talking. So we got tons of people here. Idaho, Montana, Lubbock, Texas, Illinois, Missouri. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's get rolling here on these new tweets or drops from Kyou. You'll see right here we had left off all the way to the 26th, and then here we are on June 27th. Be ready. So we had 30 days of darkness basically, right? Be ready, Kyou. And then the next one gets into a repost with the gavel from the 9th of November, which gives us future comms. Pre-stage ELE _Y, pre-stage SEC _Y, pre-stage DIR _Y, pre-stage CAP _Y. And in bracket it says on ready, Kyou. So again, this is I'll go back in a second and show you how this was on the 9th with the gavel. Again, these are not on the board where the other anons are talking. This is in his Patriot Fights board that is going to be the place where he only communicates to us. And that may be the only place we'll get Kyou after these tech giants come down on us. The tech titans, the Machiavellian tech companies to come down on us. 3352 goes for God and country. Patriots fight, Kyou. Now we're going to analyze this a lot, plus look at it on a different board to show you some things that you can tell when it's on one board or the other, etc. We'll go over that in a while. Dig into this, get Parade Medic's take on it, Joe M's take on it, In the Matrix take on it, etc. as we dig into this in more detail. First, let's get to the sponsor of this. It is StemUp.com. So you can come here. You might come to this right here where it says Sharul, but that is the company that sells stem cells right here. You're going to learn more right here in the stem cells area. There it is, Stem Enhance. So you're going to go to StemUp.com. Again, stem cells are your body's natural healing system. If you cut your finger one day and the next day it heals up, well, that's your stem cells at work. Sad part is by age 65, you've lost 90% of your adult stem cells. But now you may be able to boost stem cell levels naturally within 1 hour by 30% in a new plant-based capsule. I want to emphasize it's a plant-based capsule that they find to do this. Now, everyone's chemistry is different, but for many, this procedure actually produces, not procedure, this produces, hey, Blessed Teach, hey, Deb, a variety of benefits to help produce these effects of aging. This product comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Please visit our website, StemUp.com. Again, support your body with organic stem cells at StemUp.com. Rejuvenate your body, youth today. And I think I told you about my shoulder. I took it for 30 days. I took it for 60 days, but within 30 days, my shoulder was completely cleared up. It wasn't clearing up after I lifting weights, etc. So I'm a believer in it. I guess you're not supposed to take it long term, so please research before you do anything and talk to your doctor before changing anything significantly. Now let's get into what other people are saying about this. What I wanted to show you, this was qmap.pub, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't show you what board it's coming from. It's kind of hard to tell. You can click on this right here and it'll take you to the actual board. So if you click on this right here, for instance, it's going to bring you up and show you. You can see this pink thing is where this was a Kyou's post, right? Based upon his trip code, everybody knows this is Kyou. But then everybody else under the sun that's on the 8chan board can be in this board too. So it's messy with a lot of crap in here as well as good anons. The Patriots fight board, on the other hand, is a separate board, it shows that it's only Kyou, and it's only been a few posts. So you can see besides his 3 posts of which one he deleted, which is really interesting, the one that goes back to November 9th. It was only one. The last time he did it was just a flag by itself that said freedom justice.png. That was way back on 3/15. And then you can see all the stuff about the placeholders for the OIG report, the D class, the Five Eyes, and all these things were done on 11/11. So, and here's one that was on 11/9 when he first opened up this board. And you can see, remember, when he opened up his board, he basically put a flag here, and it says Patriot. He defines a patriot. Traitor defines a traitor. And then he had placeholders for all these indictments that came on 11/11. So this is exciting that Kyou's back on the Patriot fight board, because that means he's hopefully going to be filling these placeholders up. What are the placeholders? Indictment tracking, civilian and non-civilian, special counsel rulings regarding challenges of the civil non-civilian, maybe this is Supreme Court rulings, USA versus defense appeals. Here's a placeholder for branch terminations and leaks, placeholders for acts of treason, plus support articles, placeholders for foreign acts, placeholders for Five Eyes, placeholder for FISA, placeholder for D-Class, placeholder for special CPUB, placeholder for the OIG report findings, OIG report FBI, DOJ, and media, OIG report Executive B, ABC's media call, OIG report for foreign assistant, OIG for foreign inserts, OIG report for FISA abuse. It says director, indirector source disinformation, umbrella spy and targeting, OTRC. So you can just see a ton of stuff here. So this the fact that he posted, we all got excited on 3/15, so we can't get our hopes too far up, because there was a 4-month gap there, and I think this was probably a post just to get some of the ammunition of the enemy wasted. So I'm hoping this one's real. So you can see it's got this post number 469 and 471. 470 was this right here. You can see 471. So this is QAnon.pub versus QMap.pub. So it's easy to see that this is a 3-digit code here. 471, 470, 469. For some reason, 470 has been deleted again. But this very thing, future comms, this exact post with a picture was done back earlier. And I'll show you here. If I go to QNetPub, you can do this on either of them and just do a search, right? I'm just going to search on that information I just copied, right, and say search, and it'll show us that there's 3351 was what I just read to you, but it was already posted back earlier. If we go back and look, let me do a simpler search. It brought too much stuff up with that. I'm just going to kill future comms here and just do this pre-select ECC and search on that. See if that works for me. There it is. There's the two I wanted. So here's the first one, 3351, but then he also 2465. Now he put this on the new thread on 8chan Patriot Fights. You can see there's the gavel, and there's that exact same wording, right? And again, this was on November 9th that we did this. So this is has the stage been set? And boom, boom, boom. And this is what he did when he did his new thread, was back here on November 9th. And you can see here exciting stuff. So he's pointing back to the justice. And obviously, like I said before, instead of going to this board of 8chan where it's everybody can post, where he's now back on this Patriot Fights board that only he can post on, right? And for some reason 470 is missing. That has that exact same text, but we still have it here. 470 is right here before he deleted it. And so it's obviously referring back down to the justice there. So that's kind of interesting, but it shows you how you can kind of use two different boards. This is qmap.pub, and this one here is qanon.pub. What I like about qanon.pub, it shows us this 3 digits, and every time you see a 3-digit number, you know you're on the Patriot Fight board. If you see a 7-digit number like here, then you are on the board where everybody can post. But it's Q's trip code, so we know it's Q. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Let's dig into some other people are talking about it. First, I just wanted to continue to talk about the total censorship. Look at this. Twitter confirms new policy. This is today. Hide tweets, but claims it's in the public interest, including Trump. So if Trump puts something out there that's not in the public interest, according to the definition by Twitter, they're not going to put it in there. So here's a whole Sarah Carter article that talks about this. When a tweet has this notice placed on it, it will feature less prominently on Twitter and not appear in Safe Search, Timeline when searched to top tweets, Live Events page, Recommended Tweets push notifications, Notification tab, Explore. In other words, they're shadow banning anything they don't like. But now they're boldly doing this because I know that it looks like they're going to be targeting the president. Joe M was not happy about this. He said, Kyou told us to be ready at the same time. Big tech suppression goes into overdrive. As much as they tried to shield us from the worst of it, things will get turbulent. Patriots fight. That's the board, right? And here's another article from the Daily Beast talking about the same thing. He's not going to like this. Twitter will downgrade Trump tweets that break sites' rules. And obviously the rules will be anything that they don't agree with. Anything that's hate speech, which is defined as anything that's not on their liberal agenda or their progressive communist agenda is what it really is. It's actually not that. It's actually a cabal destroy the America is what it really is, right? So here's Praying Medic with a thread, and unfortunately the new Twitter has this huge bar over here, which drives me crazy, which makes me not able to get my things larger for you guys. But anyway, here's Praying Medic, and this is a thread that he has on the Kyou post. He says, "This is my thread for June 27th, 2019. And my theme for this is future comms on ready." And you see here, after more than a month's absence, Kyou has returned. Instead of posting to the Kyou research board, we have the first post on Patriot Fight board since last November. The message, be ready. Ready for what? That's a big question. If you view Kyou's post on one of the websites that aggregates them from 8chan, you'll find that hyperlink number in the top of the post. Clicking on that number will take you to the 8chan board. 3-digit numbers are from Patriot Fights. That's what I was showing you. Like that's 469. And 7-digit numbers are from Kyou Research Board. And that's a Kyou Research Board where everybody's on it, right? So that is number 4 goes here. Kyou posts on 2 different boards. Kyou Research allows anons to comment. Patriot Fight is Kyou's private board where no outside comments are allowed. On September 11th, 2017, Kyou deleted some posts on the Patriot Fight board. The following day, an anon asked why previous posts had been deleted. What purpose does it serve for Kyou to delete Patriot Fight posts? Up until that time, the posts on Patriot Fights were points of general interest, but were not critical to the mission. Patriot Fight would, in the future, become the main hub of all related discussions once they had banned from all other internet sites. So Kyou's pretty much told us that that Patriot Fight board is where we're going to have to learn about Kyou and have to go there directly. So we need to bookmark that because all the other sites will probably be banned and knocked down, just like they knocked down the Donald, or just a quarantine, the Donald, right, to make it much harder to get to, and a lot of people won't go to it that are for the first time because it'll have this threat of it's a bad site, right? So here we have main points of interest only, and this is a post from 9/12 of 18. And where Kyou says, main points of interest only. It will serve as the main hub of all communications once other site tracking collapse, 8chan only. So he's predicting here that all the internet's pretty much going to have zero Kyou. Kyou will be banned, outlawed, if you will, completely censored, quieted, and we will only be able to believe that. Oh, my Apple Watch thinks I'm talking to. What part of another wave of attacks coming yesterday wasn't understood? This is not a game. Kyou. So you can see right there, that is exactly why people are saying that we're not going to be able to talk about Kyou. It's going to be stricken from YouTube as well as all other sites, as well as even QMap.pub over here. It will be down. QAnon.pub will be down. That's what he's saying. Now, this is as strange as it may sound, Kyou suggested 8chan would, in the future, be the only place where public discussions of Kyou would be allowed. On November 11th, 2018, Kyou posted a series of placeholder posts that serve as reminders of subjects that will be discussed at some point in the future. Many of them are related to Spygate. And I showed you all those. It's all these here. And he does 3 different posts showing different ones. There are placeholders related to declassification of Spygate documents, the exposure of malicious activity of Five Eyes, the prosecution of treason, and the special counsel's investigation. So I showed you the actual site there. And one post has multiple placeholders for various topics that will be discussed in the upcoming DOJ Inspector General's report. All those I read to you just a bit ago. It says, so the question people are asking is, Kyou warned us today to be ready. Be ready for what? Ready for Kyou discussions to be banned from social media and only hosted on 8chan? Ready for D-Class? Ready for the OIG report? We've seen an increase in censorship of pro-POTUS voices, including the decision by YouTube to pull Project Veritas video about Google YouTube political bias. And you know, when I did that Pinterest biased post, they pulled my video down that was just talking about it. And here is, if you look at this article, it's really interesting. There's 4 companies right here. YouTube, Reddit, and Vimeo. It's actually 3 but you can see the 5 actions they took. You got, now I guess it is 4 companies, 5 actions. YouTube bans at Pinterest investigation. At Twitter suspends Veritas for the Pinterest story, so they suspend Veritas completely. Reddit bans Project Veritas. YouTube bans at Google investigation. And then Vimeo removes Project Veritas account. And this says, do you think big tech is working together? So here you have YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, and Vimeo all showing their deep state roots and the fact that they're trying to shut us up. What's so funny is that the Project Veritas video was showing YouTube censorship, and they censor the censorship video. You can't get any more Machiavellian, can't get any more Orwellian than that, right? Where you're completely trying to control what people think and completely ban free thinking. That's exactly what's going on here. Free speech is dead in the tech companies, is what's happening, and we're seeing it right before our eyes. And there's Reddit action against the platform most popular Trump forum. So you saw that. Reddit quarantines the Donald. It was a huge pro-Trump. Now, they were not allowed to talk to QAnon. They already knocked the QAnon board out of Reddit. They just completely banned it, as you know. That's why we're all on vote.co right now. Here we go on number 15. Says, today, Twitter announced it's taking further steps to keep people from viewing the president's tweets. New Twitter label will flag Trump's tweets that break the rules. Why the increased censorship of conservatives? They know they messed up in 2016 and it cost them the White House. The 2020 election is drawing near, and they must find a way to control the narrative, to regain control. They're scared to death. Why, out of curiosity, was MSNBC given the exclusive contract to cover the Democratic convention in South Carolina? How do you maintain control of the narrative? Because you have to have your true puppets that are really loyal and keep the collusion theory going, like Rachel Maddow and Chuck Todd have to be the true cabal puppets from the Mockingbird media, right? And now that almost every debate's always been on 3 or 4 of the stations, right? Now they not only kick off Fox, now they don't even trust the ABCs and others. So that's just MSNBC, cabal-controlled MSNBC. Here is Praying Medic, the exposure of corruption by the declassification of Spygate documents, the exposure of media bribes and collusion with the intelligence community, the exposure of leaks, the arrests and indictments of corrupt people will only cause more panic and more censorship. Here's a 218 post from Kyou that says, look for placeholder updates at Patriots fight. Indictments, arrests, and D-Class will force worldwide coverage. Leaks, bribery, collusion regarding media will force resignations with follow-up criminal prosecution. Kyou. That was back in February that he was warning us of that. And not just censorship of conservatives, but censorship of Kyou decoders when the proofs start raining down after D-class. So again, if you want to keep track of me at all, make sure you get on my email list. Yeah, the best way to do that is go to bless2teach.com, and it's with the 2, bless2teach.com, and just go contact us, and you can send me an email as well as click the little box to get added to my email list. You'll get the show notes each night after I'm done here. Plus, I'll be able to blast everybody what my plan is once they knock me off YouTube and other sites here. Okay, here is this Kyou post from May 23rd. It says Carter Page public FISA. Remainder are still under classification until today. Waterfall of proofs coming. Post D-class. Kyou. So more proofs coming after the D-class. Interesting. There are several things we may want to be ready for, including D-class and the exposure of corruption. But with it, we should prepare for greater censorship. This is currently the latest post, number 471 on the Patriot Fights board. For God and country, Patriots fight. Kyou. The previous post, number 470, requires some explanation. Here's the post as it appears on QAnon.pub. I read this to you already. Future comms, pre-stage ELE, Y. Pre-stage SEC, Y. Pre-stage DIR, Y. Pre-stage CAP, Y. On ready, Kyou. Now, I haven't heard any good people talk, any good decoders really give us the lowdown on what ELE, SEC, DIR, and CAP are, right? So, pre-stage electoral, right? Something like that. Pre-stage SEC, secretarial, security, what that could be. Pre-stage directorships, directors, directions, who knows. CAP, if you guys let me know what you think ELE, it's underscore Y, so it could be more letters, like electricity, something like that. Secretary, directory, or it could be some other thing for this Y. So you guys let me know if you down in the comments below. I'd like to hear your theories on what you think those are. I haven't heard any good anon really try to decipher that, and everybody avoided that today when I was looking to say, hey, what does that really mean? And Praying Medic ignores that as well as far as giving us what he thinks. The post should appear between those two posts, numbers 469 and 470, on the Patriots Fight board, but it doesn't. And I've shown you that earlier, right? So it's on the qmap.pub where we get to see all three of them. But if you go to the actual board, right, the Patriots Fight board, it's not there. Right? It's got 469 and 471, but there's no 470. So for some reason he deleted that, and Praying Medic doesn't take a shot at what that is either. So let's back to Praying Medic. Now he says post number 470 in the same text as the post at the top of the Patriot Fight page board that has the number 440. It indicates future comms and lists parts of the operation and confirms on ready. So he thinks that that's all parts of the operation, but what they actually mean, he's not taking a shot at. ELE, SEC, DIR, CAP. Now, as the situation changes with regards to future comms and Patriot Fights, I'll do my best to keep you updated. He did in parentheses say, I don't know why post number 470 is missing. For those who are concerned that nothing's happening, Italy arrests 18 for allegedly brainwashing and selling kids. Selling children. So the busts are starting to happen. Italy's starting to come down on things. This is a worldwide movement. Exciting. Here's In the Matrix take on these same tweets. Talks, and so let's see. I think he was talking about it right here. This is funny. Let me show you this first. This is, see the Kyou in this Fox News graphic. So the Fox News graphic showed a graphic of the background here, and you have Cortez and Pelosi, but look at it, there's a clear Kyou right there on that bathroom. So that's interesting that they had that on there. But I think I had some. Yeah, here's what's interesting about the way Matrix handled this is he basically talks about what we just reviewed, the one that was done on the 9th and the one that was done today, right? And Then he gets into the other two tweets. But then he takes us into this trust thread all the way back. He did in December, which is interesting because it's all about the trust thread. And he says, this will be my thread on trust, the plan with the be part 2 of the Pacier thread. Are you ready? Let's go. And the reason is because it's all about the gavel and justice, right? Kyou uses the word trust and the trust many times. Got me thinking, trust. When Kyou started Patriot Fight, they dropped this image. So we've seen this image many times, right? There we are. Example of trust, and so then he goes through all these trust things, and it was really interesting. This is where the Pacier things, and he goes into the details of these. Go to in the Matrix if you want, and Shady Groove, go into the detail of the Paciers and how these trusts. So let me just kind of review a few of them. So I googled trust and antitrust, and look what I found. He found all these different things about restoring trust in America, antitrust enforcement. Right, so restoring trust in antitrust enforcement, right? And it had that same picture of the gavel. So that's why I was thinking the whole antitrust and trust is really something to do with this gavel, the same gavel he used in the picture. So then this drills down into how the Paciers used these trusts. The Rockefellers were trustees to them, the Rothschilds are trustees to them, and they use Standard Oil. And then they illegalized doing what they did so nobody could replicate it. So they have control over all the banking, right? And then this goes in detail about all that theory. And that's really, I think, a very good theory that the Paciers have trust over everything. They have now antitrust things. And now Trump is unraveling that, which unravels their kingdom. So they are threatened. Sarah Carter's tweeting about this whole Twitter banning thing as well. Here's Mr. Trump talking about the United States Supreme Court is given additional information from which it can make a final and decisive decision. So I guess this is like a two-parter. Here's the first part. Seems totally ridiculous that our government and indeed country cannot ask a basic question of citizenship in a very expensive, detailed, and important census. In this case, the case for 2020. I've asked the lawmakers if they can delay the census, no matter how long, until the United States Supreme Court is given additional information from which it can make a final and decisive decision on this very critical matter. So if you didn't hear yet, they literally, the Supreme Court, everybody was expecting because of the 5 conservatives and the 4 liberals on the justice, they were going to say, yes, you can ask that question. But guess what? John Roberts, the same one who held up Obamacare, which was shocking, completely against what he had said in the past, right? Showing that he was bribed, controlled. And now he sides with the liberals, and it pushes it back to another court. It's not over yet. But just shows you that John Roberts is most likely compromised. And this talks about, they're supposed to get most information. So Trump continues and says, from which it can make a final and decisive decision on this very critical matter. Can anyone really believe that as a great country, we are not able to ask whether or not someone is a citizen? Only in America. Woo. And Clandestine comments on this, and he's still on white hat Rosenstein, white hat Mueller. And he was arguing that today. So you can go look at him at Rod Sneaky, and it's Clandestine, and you'll see him talking all about it. But he's talking about what I just read about the Supreme Court decision. It says, I told you all to wait and see what happens and to stop being irrational. Did any of you listen? Nope. It's part of the show. Trump will use this to establish a narrative and fuel his need to correct the issue while also bringing large amounts of attention to it. Trust the dawn. And this is where he's talking about that's what I just read you. It seems totally ridiculous that the government and indeed country cannot ask a basic question of citizenship, right? So at least one person here, Clandestine, thinks Trump's completely under control here, that they did this on purpose. Maybe they controlled Robert to actually purposely do this. So anyway, that's part of the thinking of some other anons. Brian Cates is talking about a lot of this stuff, and he has a full thread here on something else I'm probably not going to get into, but other than just to say that the good news is there's a humanitarian bill that came through. It was a Senate's that actually Nancy Pelosi put on the House and passed, which was a shocker because they were fighting it at all. But I think they all wanted to get back on the campaign trail. is my theory is why she ended up doing that. And even Political, right, says, here's Brian K. says, LOL, look how Political describes what just happened in the email news alert. Pelosi bows to McConnell. If highly partisan Political can see this for the huge defeat for Pelosi and Democrats that it was, why can't people who call themselves Trump supporters? So he's really frustrated that other Trump supporters are saying that this was a bad thing when it says right here, Pelosi bows to McConnell on border aid bill. Speaker Nancy Pelosi formally conceded to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell in a weeks-long battle with the GOP over border aid bill, saying the House will take up the Senate version of the relief package. The move caps 4 days of havoc amid a contentious debate with Pelosi's caucus over how to respond to the mounting humanitarian crisis. That was supposed to be a manufactured crisis just a few months ago, right? With the frauds in their using their talking points. James O'Keefe talking about the four. Yeah, we already saw that. So hey, that's the news I have for you. I'm gonna get next into the cultural impact system a little bit more. Why I'm creating it, why I'm excited for you guys to be part of it, and we'll dig into that in a second. But again, if you want the show notes of this and all my other shows, you can come right to here and hit show notes, and you can download them right here. What's cool about it is that these are extensive, right? They have everything as well as the links. Like for instance, this one's a link to the whole Serial Brain 2 decode that I did yesterday. And then there's ones like this where Google got busted, and it was just tons of news. And so you'll see this thing goes on for a long time, where all these are linked right there. A lot of times you don't even have to relink into them. They're posted right there. And so you can Snapchat these you can make copies of these, do whatever you want with them, including memes that you can put on your social media. Has the prophecies here, plus the Bible memory verses, etc. Again, so you want to go to blessedtoteach.com with a 2, blessed with the number 2, teach.com. If you want to send me an email anytime, just go to contact us right here. So if you have a question for Mark Taylor tomorrow, remember Mark Taylor is live tomorrow at 5 o'clock Central Time, CST, 5 o'clock CST. He's on live tomorrow. So if you have a question for Mark, again, come to the Blessed to Teach website with the number 2, and you come to contact us, and there you just type in your question. If you want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, you can subscribe to the show notes list, the Blessed to Teach show notes list right here, all in one step. You can also come to the front page, by the way, and see where I am on podcasts. So again, if you want to just help spread this, just go please subscribe to the iTunes or iHeartRadio here. That's what I'm trying to grow, so more people will be able to get this show and hear it. You can also subscribe to the email list here on the front, as well as at the very bottom of these, you can see my backup channels. I got a couple backup channels in YouTube as well as BitChute. Okay, I'm also on Minds. I also have right here an Instagram account that I'm starting to be active on. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, follow me on Instagram. So hey, let's dig into this cultural impact system a little bit, guys. This is important because this is the time to strike, I believe. I think we'll talk about tomorrow with Mark Taylor. But if we don't get busy, we're going to lose our culture completely, right? That's just something that we have got to be careful of. And you know what? I need to make sure that I hit the Trump 2020 coin before I get into that, because it's their last commercial for the month, and I don't want to miss them because they've done a fantastic job here with these silver bars. So we've saw this awesome Trump coin that you can get, right? So you're going to go to TrumpCoin2020.com. TrumpCoin2020.com. Not only can you get the ounce of silver, this silver coin that is so cool, that's delivering as promised on the back. Guys, this I believe is going to be a collector's item. So if you don't have this yet, get yourself some of these. These are silver coins you can get. But there's also this beautiful 10-ounce bar, nice heavy 10-ounce bar that says United We Stand. On the back it has an American flag, beautifully done. This 10 ounces and this 1 ounce. Get all 11 ounces of silver there with this art combined with it, and it's for $249. You can get $30 off that by just adding to the cart. Make sure you add Blessed to Teach 30, and and I'm gonna show you how to do this. It's Blessed space with a number 2 space teach space 30. You apply that code and you'll get $30 off. You can see it took $60 off because there's 2 of them here. But you can buy as many of these you want. We get $30 off each pair. So get that pair of these things there. They also, guys, they have a gold IRA they're setting up. And there you'll see the 800 number below that, take your 401ks, put into a gold IRA. I think gold's a great place to be, especially with Trump looking at the gold standard potentially. You can call 877-646-5347. Again, tell them Blessed Teach sent you. 877-646-5347 to get a gold IRA. And they will give you, if it's over $20,000, free 10-ounce bar and a Trump coin, right? So get all 11 ounces free if you end up getting a gold IRA. Again, TrumpCoin2020.com. TrumpCoin2020.com. All right. Let me get into the cultural impact system a little bit, guys. And again, when you look at this, I'm going to flip to a little bit different view here. See if I can get that one that will actually show a little bit more of this. Yeah. And what this is about is understanding why I created the cultural impact system and why I'm launching this in July. It's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be a select group of people that are the Patriot Christians, right? What Mark would call the army of God. It's people that love the Lord and love this country and want to really do something about it. And again, it doesn't have to be anybody that it can be very part-time. You don't have to be in the front lines. I need well-balanced teams to really attack this. And I'm going to spend less time talking to you about how I'm going to do this. That'll be next week. I'll focus more on that. I'm going to focus more on why, okay? And so are you frustrated with culture, really? And so join me in how we are going to unite and fight back. And again, in order to fight back, we need to understand how the enemy is attacking and understand what I call the 7 mountains of cultural influence. Now, a lot of other people use that same term. I liked it. I'm leveraging it. But I wanted to let you know it's not associated with the 7 mountain mandate and some other Pentecostal things that actually potentially went in the wrong direction. But I think some of those movements are healthy and some aren't. But I'm just using that really to categorize people's passion areas. Because that's the key to this. The first step in this is to really understand how we're being attacked. If you're in a war, you got to understand how the enemy's attacking, right? And that's the first thing we're going to do is understand that. So join me in that, is understanding these 7 mountains of cultural influence. And since you can do so much more uniting with others, obviously, you by yourself can only do so much. If you not unite with other people with the same passion area, just think how much you can get done. Especially if that's a very specific passion that you all have, and then what I do best at, what I've done the last 30 years, is help teams be effective and efficient and have fun together, right? And so part of the team efficiency and effectiveness is bonding together, enjoying each other, being in the same, having the same goals, all that type of stuff. That's why it's real important for understanding how the enemy's attacking us in all these 7 mountains, and then which mountain are you most passionate about. So that's key to this whole thing. And if I look at this next thing here, the 7 mountains are these 7, right? It's a spiritual religion, family, business, government, media, education, academia, arts, entertainment. So again, I just use this for categorization because I thought it was a brilliant way to capture most of how culture is changed and how culture is being attacked right now. So if you look at each of these areas, man, were we being attacked. Look at this. It's just scary to think about. Let's just take spirituality and religion, right? We have massive corruption, worse than ever. Televangelists not only raking in money and buying $7 million jets, we have we have child sex abuse. And it's not just the Catholics, guys. There's a Baptist person, and the Southern Baptists having a problem with this. There is big time corruption in the church that God is cleaning out and exposing, I believe, right now. We also know about what Mark Taylor talks about, the 501c3, and how people won't talk about politics. That's poison, right? So this whole Johnson Amendment not being active, the church has failed, right? And that needs to change. So if that's your passion area, I want you to understand we're being attacked with the 501c3, attacked with the clergy response team, which was going to basically take us all to FEMA camps. Understanding the corruption with the televangelists and all the sex trafficking, all that type of stuff. That's vital for us to put renewal back in, understanding where the enemy, Satan's really attacking that mountain. Now, the mountain of family. They're trying to get control over us with welfare, health care. Once they get control over those things, they can control you. And they can start taking your parent rights away, right? And I know welfare is resulting in 70% of black children without a dad. Growing up without a dad. 70%. That's sad. An attack on marriage. Obviously, the definition of marriage being completely, they get put a new letter on it every time. LGB, and it goes LGBT. Now it's LGBTQ. They keep adding to it, right? Then you have this transgender movement with the bathrooms, and even companies like Target saying that they're gonna that men are welcome to go in if my daughter's in the bathroom, that a transvestite man can go in there. No, sorry Target, you lost all my business. But this, you can see where the enemy's attacking us. Lack of school choice and elimination of parents' rights. Right? Those are the type of things that are just taking the family down. Not growing up without a dad, the family is being attacked. Now we understand that. Now, is that your passion area? In the course we'll be starting, I've developed, we'll actually take a passion area assessment. So I'll be assessing a lot of things with you guys. It's fun to understand your personality better, your spiritual gifts, your passion areas better, and then what other people's are. And then I'm going to match people that have the same passion areas so you can brainstorm great ideas. It's going to be so fun. But the enemy attacking business. We see the tech giant censorship. So business used to be a stronghold for the culture of fairness and in America and capitalism. Now it's being attacked. We've heard about the whole banking and Federal Reserve. It's owned by international bankers. They cause recessions. I didn't realize that when I had to close my company down in 2008, it was because it was a purposeful recession that they did with the contraction of cash, and they purposely buy up everything in these low points. So it's a money-making scheme. Our recessions and the Great Depression was caused by these bankers. Wall Street, cabal-owned entities, big pharma, corruption on the progressives and socialists completely being over companies, using cabal money, etc. You know how that works, where the Zuckerbergs and the Amazon of the world are Bezos of the world are assets. They're CIA assets, criminal controlled assets, right? So then you move to government. Over here to government here. I'll get my picture out of the way for the rest of this as I go into showing all of the display. You can see here, government, hatred of Trump, lies, spying, police state. They want a police state. They're completely corrupt, controlled by the cabal. If they aren't cabal members, they're controlled by them, by bribery. They have foundation and massive laundering of money through like SB2 just talked about how they launder through foreign organizations with foreign aid, as well as their foundations and institutes. They hate capitalism now. They hate law enforcement. They hate ICE. They love open borders, right? The media, boy, I don't need to talk about that. That's why you're all here, because you can't get the truth from the mainstream media. Mockingbird media, double agents, 4 a.m. talking points, controlled by the cabal, attacking conservatives, libertarians. It's like just crazy what's happened in the media. Education and academia, rewriting history, the cabal control of education and foundations. I did a whole series on how the New World Order took over all the foundations that actually create and give money to the schools. And you have to use their textbooks if you do that. So they control the narrative of what they're teaching our kids from grade school all the way up. Professors teaching hatred of America, hatred of whites, hatred of the very founders. They're teaching non-godly values from grade school to college. Even evolution is something I could go on and teach a whole course on that. I was taught that as 13th as a complete lie. Every single piece of evidence that was taught to me as fact has been now debunked by science as false. So it's just crazy to go back to see what I was taught as fact as a 13-year-old in school versus what the facts are now. They've completely had to change them to continue to lie to the American people that macroevolution is true when it's not. It's neo-Darwinism. It's back down to back down to, again, I could do a whole course on this, but it's back down to only two things. It's a circular reasoning as survival of the fittest, which is circular reasoning. Who survived? The fittest. Who's the fittest? Those who survived. Well, that's circular reasoning. That's silly. Second thing is mutations, which is genetic mutations, which kill people. And you cannot go from Microsoft, DOS to Microsoft Windows by mistake, by a bunch of mistakes. Mutations, which would be like mistakes in the copying the code. That's what it is. A mutation is a mistake in copying the DNA code. And then natural selection, those two things do not create more sophisticated things, and doesn't create intelligent things like going from DOS to Windows, as an example. It doesn't happen. Those two things don't work. Just another example of them lying to you in education and the media. Arts and entertainment, filth and bad values, the famous hatred of our values, the hatred of Trump, famous athletes kneeling to the flag, plays, cartoons, famous hating on American and Patriots. It's just TV series. I cannot believe every TV series my wife starts to watch, there ends up being a star that is gay, right? But both male and female, and the filth in there in these TV series and movies is crazy. So I'm asking you to join me to take our culture back. If you're frustrated with culture, and again, I'm asking for everybody to consider how they can best help. Even if it's extremely part-time, even if you don't want anybody else to know about it, right? That's fine. You can be in the back seat. Even if you're not a leader, I need all kinds of people to come together, because these teams have to be well balanced. You want some people that are really extroverted and out. We're going to talk about personality types, right? Other people that are really, that think more deeply, and they want to plan before they shoot, right? And they want to be in the background. There's a lot of team characteristics you need for an effective team. And so we can go take this back from the Soros-funded Rothschild 13 family cabal here if we work together. Now, one thing I wanted to show you too is, I'm not going to go into the same details I went on a full video, but you can link to a bunch of articles that are shown here. And one thing I just wanted to make sure you understood is that most of what we focus on is like God, family, and work. The first three, right? God, spirit, religion, family, business. Meanwhile, what did the progressives focus on? They focused, I'm going to flip me back on here a little bit. I think the rest of these slides are out of the way. Is primarily cultural influencers are these bottom three. It's media, education, and arts. So I really need people that have a passion for media, a passion for education and academia, and a passion for arts and entertainment. Because yes, we're losing in all these mountains. But it's now the time, now that God's exposing the corruption, now is the time to strike in all 70 of these mountains. But we can't ignore the media mountain and the education mountain and the arts mountain. And this is why you can see how we ignored it. Look at this. This is a study that was done I'm going to bring it over here so make sure you can see it all. In 1998. Look at this. This is crazy. I'm going to come back to this other view real quick. There it is. 93% of the general population believed there's God. 90% of the military. But then only 70% in business. So the 30% was obviously in Silicon Valley, right? Then you had politicians down to 50%. So not enough of us were running for office. Not enough of us were involved in politics. 93% of the population, just think of the percentage. The 7% dominated 50% of the positions in politics. The 7% dominated 97% of arts and entertainment. The 7% dominated 98% of the media. Whoa! That is crazy. We cannot give up, and the academia would be right down here. We cannot give up those three mountains at the bottom. So I'm going to wrap it up with here, guys. This is, and so I'm going to give you a free gift. I'm offering this free gift, frustratedwithculture.com. So just go to your browser and type frustratedwithculture.com. And you'll get a lot of what I've shown you already, and a bunch of other stuff. You'll get things that show about my plan to attack this. You'll get things like the spirits that are actually these controlling spirits that are all these 7 mountains. You'll get the things that talk about the 49 passion areas that, take those 7 mountains and break them into other categories. So this free gift will be available till next Tuesday. And then you're not going to be able to get it until you pay for the course and join me in the 27th, right? So I'm giving a bunch of free stuff away before, because I want people that can't afford it and can't go through the course, etc. I still want to equip you as much as I can, right? Eventually, I'll have a free community as well later. But right now, I got to focus on where I can put a ton of energy and people that are going to invest in themselves and invest in this program with me. To really, I'm going to teach to not develop teams, but to actually create revenue sources and funding to just like, was it Brian Calflag, the triple amputee who ended up opening We the People Will Fund the Wall. $21 million in funding came in, and he built an $8 million wall that the Army Corps of Engineers wouldn't do. What a great example of what one person can do. What one person can do. That's what I believe. I'm Rick with Blessed to Teach, and I believe in the power of what one person can do as part of a small team. Brian has 15 people. What one person can do as part of a small team, and how massive impact they can make on the culture. It's extremely important, no matter if you can work full-time in this or just extremely part-time, a couple hours a week, or you want to be in the front line, or if you have a personality that's in the back. You're not a leader, you are a leader. All of us Patriot Christians, the army of God, need to come together. If you love the Lord and you love your country, then download this free gift. Go to frustratedwithculture.com and start to understand this. I'll be rolling out the pricing of this and the timing of it. It's going to be a 5-week course starting on July 27th. Over the next 3 weeks, you'll get a lot more detail. The cart will open up the week before, from Saturday to Saturday, but I want people to understand it first. I want to understand why. You can see this is the time to strike. But the first thing I need to understand is, what are these 7 mountains, and how am I going to start categorizing people, and how we're being attacked. Understand your enemy. That's the first thing that we need to do. Right? So again, go to frustratedwithculture.com, download that free gift. It'll be available till Tuesday night. And we will then dig into this in a lot more detail as we go. And there's, I was trying to find my I believe statement. Here it is. Here's some things that I believe. I was talking about before. I believe the power of one person acting as part of a small team can have massive cultural impact, just like Brian did, getting $21 million, building an $8 million wall that was supposed to cost $35 million that the Army Corps of Engineers said they couldn't even do. An amazing story. I believe we can take back our culture by establishing cultural impactors in all 7 mountains. And we can fight the cabal's deception and teach truth in all 7 mountains. Just realize I'm in the way here a little bit, guys. So let me see if I'll shrink this up and move it around as I go here. I believe we can take ground and hold ground by establishing leaders and teams, revenue and funding in all 7 mountains. I believe we can unify as Christian patriots to help destroy the divisive tactics of Soros and unite we the people here and around the world. I believe I have been called to help you and other patriots, even if very part-time and behind the scenes, to become an impactor and enjoy seeing your effort make true cultural impact. Guys, if a triple amputee can raise $21 million and still going, and can do things that the government, the very government that Trump hired, can't do with the Army Corps of Engineers in certain areas of the wall, can make that big of an impact as one person. Now, he has 15 people on his team, but remember. So that's his key. He was passionate about something. He found out what his passion area was. He's very clear about his passion area. And he knew how we were being attacked with the invasion from the Soros-funded Central America. And he actually went and took action. He actually got a small team together. They actually went on stages and talked about the vision. They got on social media and talked about the vision. I'm going to teach that. I'm going to teach how you go get on stages, how you get funding in, how you can create this a revenue stream so we're not all just doing it for free, right? Some of it may be nonprofits, non-501c3 profits, nonprofits actually getting funding, but we'll show you how to get funding. And also, we'll show you how to actually create businesses in this. We need a lot of businesses in all these 7 mountains that are actually creating revenue where you can have teams, because a team doing this can do so much more than just you yourself. So again, that's the vision of this. This is the time to strike back. Join me tomorrow with Mark Taylor. Again, if you want to give me questions, you're going to go to blessedtoteach.com. See, Mark Taylor is going to be on tomorrow at 5 o'clock Central Time. You're going to want, if you want to give me a question, you're going to go to blessedtoteach.com with a 2, blessed with the number 2, teach.com. Go to the contact us and come down here and send me your message right here. You can also subscribe to the email list if you'd like at the same time. Send me questions from Mark Taylor for tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and we're going to do that. Hey, with that, I'm going to pray a little bit. I have 5 minutes, so I'm going to bring up a scripture real quick too. I'm going to go to my prophecy areas here, and I think I had one queued up. Oh, there's one other piece of insight Gene gave me. So Gene, who's on vacation now, I believe, for 3 weeks, he gave me a little bit more insight to Iran. He said, the SB2 code on your show tonight, epic! The nuclear facility in Syria was blown up on the ISIS destruction. The uranium went there, and then after ISIS destroyed, went to Ukraine. On the day of the air attack, called back by POTUS, this is just recently, allowed for Iran to identify many CIA undercover in their military and their government. This allowed them to find these bad actors. They don't have our slow legal system, nor do they play around. They executed 20 people on that day. They called back U.S. airstrikes, all planned by the Kyou Alliance and POTUS. Having been in a submarine under the water, monitoring those places, you would not believe what really goes on there. So that's Gene just giving me a little bit more insight about what he's heard from his sources on what Iran and the whole calling on the strike that Trump did and calling off the strike on Iran allowed them to find 20 CIA, cabal traitors within the Iranian government and military. Interesting stuff, huh? I'm going to go to it to see if I can find a scripture real quick to go over. I've gone over that one. Here, I like 41:10. Isaiah 41:10. This is just an encouraging one for you guys. As we go through this times where we're going to get knocked off YouTube, knocked off all our favorite sites, and only can see Q post on Army Board. What does God say through all this? He says, "Do not fear." This is Isaiah 41:10. "For I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." What a beautiful verse, Isaiah 41:10. Again, I do this on BibleMemory.com. You can load these down, go to Blessed to Teach with a T-O this time on the groups, and you can find my 67 verses I memorize. But this is, again, God saying, so do not fear, for I am with you. So do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, just thank you so much for this platform, for the amount of time we've been able to have it. And I know we may lose it, Lord, but I know it's all in your plan, and I trust you. And I know you're with us, Lord, just like you say in Isaiah 41:10. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being our God. Thank you for strengthening us and helping us and upholding us with your righteous right hand. Lord, thank you for putting Donald J. Trump in for such a time as this. And I think you've put many of us, listen to my voice right now, for such a time as this to take our culture back in all 7 mountains. Lord, I thank you for this calling. I thank you. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there as it's getting late. Thanks so much. I did want to throw up this, new Kyou today. We see he's on the Patriot fight board again for the first time in months. 8 months since he really started this board. It's the placeholders for indictments, the placeholders for OIG. This is exciting. And again, we had a ton of stuff. We went over the cultural impact system. Go to frustratedwithculture.com. Download the free gift before Tuesday. It's a PDF. Make sure you download that before Tuesday. Again, that's with frustratedwithculture.com. It's a Blessed Teach Show. I'm Rick, your host, on June 27th on Thursday. See you tomorrow with Mark Taylor. God bless you guys.